What's up, people?
Yeah.
Welcome to the what now? Is this the number? I don't even know how many episodes we have.
Episode 5, yo.
Episode 5. Whoa.
Episode 5.
Topic is the table. Thank you guys for sticking with us. It's been an amazing ride. Look at me, I'm sweating. This is what we gotta do.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Bring you guys episodes.
Premium
Yes,
content.
so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, so.
Today, Ronti is not around. Ronti had to go and make us money.
All
you
right.
know what I'm saying? He had to go and mine for money.
Yeah.
Because we need money to keep this podcast going.
Yes, so.
But today we have our very first guest. Coincidentally, he is my namesake. His name is David. All the Davids I know are stand-up guys. Please, everybody,
wow,
if you're in your house, just start clap for David.
Welcome.
Even if you don't know him, clap for him. Don't allow your phone charger spoil in the middle of the night. You understand?
Welcome.
Mr. David, Master David, Counselor David, Pastor David,
Let's go.
Bishop David.
Let's go.
We are happy to have you.
Fabulous.
Happy to be with the other brother men. So
Yeah.
David is holding it down for us today and is our guest. I will be chopping up the topic, the table. Before we do that, we hope you've been watching, liking, subscribing, sharing.
Yes, so.
You know, I listened to a podcast where they say share the podcast on your church group chat.
That's it.
They know
It's all
themselves.
That's it.
Anyways, it's all good. Topic is the table. Please let's go around the room and introduce ourselves as usual so that we can start chopping everything up on the table. You see what I did there?
Wow.
Chopping it up on the table.
Fabulous.
Ocean deep.
If I don't become
Ocean deep.
a rapper,
Ocean deep.
Let's go.
Lil Dave.
Sweet. Let's go.
All right, so I'm David.
Go, Guade.
I am too.
You know, he's the brother man, Bugbade, I am too, and Ronti has gone to make us money. Yeah,
Fantastic.
the table. What do we mean when we say the table? This is what we are talking about today.
Yeah.
The table, as per what do you bring to the table? As per what is the table? As per why are women saying that they are now the table? What does that table mean? So it is a relationship conversation,
Yeah,
right?
it's a big
So
question.
what is the table?
Fantastic.
Fire down.
What is the table? Where is the table from? How do you make the table? Where do you get the wood from the table? Who cuts the wood for the table? Me, when I hear people talking about the table,
Yeah.
it just deals with who is bringing what to the relationship.
Fantastic.
And, you know, most times it's babe asking guys, what are you bringing to the table? So I remember day before yesterday,
Yeah.
I was somewhere. I was actually with this David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, what's version?
I just
Yeah.
to clarify, my name is David Salt Ayodele. So it's like that's David Kenny. My name is David Salt. So
Yeah.
it's a lot
You
different.
know I'm David.
Yeah.
The other day, 2 days ago, I don't remember, I was with David Salt.
Yeah.
And so we were with this lady. And he was showing, I think he was trying to hook the lady up with a guy.
Yeah.
So he was showing the lady, the guy that I wanted to hook up with,
Yeah.
in the gym. The first question, do you remember the first question she asked?
Yeah, I remember.
What was the
Absolutely.
question?
I would like you to answer it. She literally just said, "What car does he drive?"
That was the question she asked.
Are you for real?
Fantastic.
What car
Like
does he
first question.
I was trying to sell this particular guy. Like, he's my real G. Like,
Yeah.
this guy, everything sets.
Yeah.
Like, he has the body of the gods. Like, he
Yeah.
has, like, shovel, all those carved
Yeah.
bodies and like
Jesus.
this guy is amazing. And boys are saying, wow.
Yeah.
Let me see the video of the guy. Like, this guy is like 140 kg.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
And you're like, excuse me, what kind of guy does
That was
like,
the first question she asked. Nothing else concerned her. What kind of car does he drive? So to her, the car is the most important thing on the table. Not what the guy, not what mentality he has, not what job he has,
not even what he looks like.
not how he was able to buy the car, nothing.
I feel you.
What car?
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a minute. Bro, what's
Fantastic. Well, I feel like the table is you. Finally, the table is you in the sense that what do you bring to the table? All right, so you bring yourself to the table. When I say bring yourself to the table, there's a Bible quote that's coming to my head. It said, if you find somebody that is diligent in his work, he will stand before kings and not mean men.
Amen.
Yeah.
So if you are diligent in whatever you do, you will find yourself in front of tables. You will be in front of tables. So you will always be bringing things to the table. So you don't need to stress. You just bring things to the table. Yeah. So you bring yourself to the table. And that's what I feel the table is.
Okay.
So people need to bring who they are to the table.
All right. And if we're saying people should bring who they are to the table, we don't mean your nasty ass mean self. We mean like come correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, David Salt is in the building.
You know.
Our first guest is about to give us his first thoughts about our topic.
All right.
So, sir, what do you think about what the table is? What do you think the table is?
So I think the table, this particular topic, I'm really excited. I mean, your first guest on this particular, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. And the table actually, when it comes to relationships, put it in context, is actually what destroys talking stage in most cases. When I say, so it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have, especially in this day and time, where you find a lot of young people, or young people like us, obviously, trying to be in a relationship, and they try to ask you questions like, oh, so if you ask, and I think that these questions are perceived by different genders differently. If a girl asks you as a guy, what do you bring to the table? I mean, it's your time to like flex your muscles to say, why should you be dating me? Fantastic. You say things like, oh, I have a big shoulder, I'm emotionally intelligent, you know, I'm a business person, I'm business savvy and things like that. But I have, let me put in context now, conversations on social media, or seeing people talk to me about having the table conversations. It always, when a man asks that question differently, it triggers some kind of emotions or reactions that are really uncomfortable. Especially when it's on your early dates in a relationship. You know what? Talking stage, you go on different kind of dates. So your early dates, and you say, so as a guy, just speak to a lady and say, oh, so what do you bring to the table?
It's almost offensive.
Exactly my point. Like, also, what do you mean?
No guy asks that.
So I see that a lot of time they are quite defensive. Like, so are you mean I'm not enough? Or what are you trying to say? Like, no. Same question. Like, the same way you can ask me what I bring to the table, right? And I actually flex my muscles, say, oh, I'm this and that. I'm this. I'm a spiritual person. I'm this and everything. I expect that the other gender, I mean, women, women folks are able to also take the question in the same kind of light and try to actually tackle it.
Without getting defensive.
Exactly my point. Like, okay, so people say like, these are the real values that we actually bring to the table. And that is actually why when it comes to the issue of divorce, that I probably think that we might touch at some point, then when you're dividing the table, then it actually becomes unfair.
Because
eventually the table gets
you never really brought anything to the table.
Exactly my point.
So why are you trying to divide it when I brought everything?
Man, Dave, you just hit the nail on the head. Okay, for me, let me tell you what I think the table is. The table is the relationship.
Fantastic.
The table is what you're trying to build.
Right.
Fantastic.
The table is the marriage.
Right.
So if I look at you and I say, what do you bring to the table? I'm asking, what do you bring to this thing that we want to build? And I like exactly what you have said. Do you understand? Men and women are judged differently. And I think in our first 4 episodes, we've touched on all those things, right? We've touched on how, the same rules don't apply to women that apply to men.
Facts.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
A man we talked about body count in episode 3 or so.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. And how, most people don't really care that a guy has a body count of over 100.
Facts.
But men care about women who have a high body count.
Yeah, sure.
And that's just the same way it goes whenever this conversation of what do you bring to the table is concerned, right? What most women want from men, like, you see how you said, oh, she asked what kind of car he drives? No, she doesn't really care about his car. Like, she says she cares about his car. She believes she cares about his car. In fact, she acts like she cares about his car. But let me tell you what she truly cares about. She cares if he has good leadership qualities. She cares if he has integrity. I'm getting somewhere. Oh.
Yeah.
She cares if he has integrity. If he's a man of honor. Do you understand? If he can protect and provide. It's just that here's the thing. Even us men and most of our women do not know what we value in each other. So I don't. So sorry. So just to hit the nail on the head further, right? Let me give you this example. When a man is asked the question, what do you bring to the table? He's going to talk. What he's going to say in essence is how he can provide and protect.
Yes.
That's just what he's saying in essence. Yes. So I work here, I'm college educated, blah, blah, blah. All of it can be put into those 2 categories. He can provide and protect. When a woman is asked what she brings to the table, right? The last thing a man wants to hear is your money, because we don't care about it. We know that in the long term, we don't benefit from it. And ladies, if you see a man that cares about your money, John, run. it run for the hills, because really a man doesn't. What a man cares about ultimately is, one, do you look good? Two, can you turn my house to a home?
Fantabulous.
Finish. Like everything you're saying. So turn my house to a home would mean, are you a feminine woman?
Yeah.
Are you combative, or are you someone I can cooperate with?
Fantabulous.
Do you understand? Can you add values and virtues to our kids? Do you understand? I don't care that you went to Harvard or you went to Last Protect. Shout out to Last Protect.
Shout out.
Shout out.
You get, but what I really care about
government,
as
do better,
a man
do better.
is, what do you bring as a woman to this table, the relationship that we are trying to build? Because if you're bringing the same things I'm bringing, I might as well just go and date another man.
So, David, I think the world is changing actually. And I mean, I'm just saying this is just my personal opinion.
Okay.
And I realized that this is 2023, yeah? And when we're talking about what we bring to the table, I mean, in the time past, it's the way that you have said it. To say a man is a protector and a man is a provider.
Yeah.
And a woman just to tend and care.
Yeah.
But in recent times, I've seen a lot of swapping that's happened in several relationships around me. Yeah. And I also realized that was maybe economy or whatever it is. A lot of men when they want to date right now, even women when they want to date right now, they're thinking about your japa compatibility. It's a thing now. When you're talking about Harvard the other time,
Part of the table now.
it's not part of the things that you bring to the table.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Harvard the other time, I feel like, bro, you can bring that to the table. Like, I'm an Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
It's something. It's valuable on the table as of today. I don't know what's gonna look like the next 20 years or what it was like in last 20 years. But as of today, your Harvard certificate actually is something that is important to your table. And
but let me just chime in something, right? Yes, please hold that thought. I don't want you to forget about where we went from. But let me chime in something. What are the divorce rates today?
Okay, so I was watching
with all of the. Did you understand what I'm saying? Like
very high.
Very high compared to when we had, and I understand perfectly what you're saying.
Yeah.
The economy will do you boost, right? And there is nothing wrong in a dynamic where, in fact, so let me use myself as an example, and a lot of the men that I know. Do you understand? Who is a married man? Yeah. You know, Amtu has a girl in his life. Yeah. Ronti is also a married man. Yeah. Like all of us, we work in our houses. Yeah. We clean. Yeah. Do you understand? We make sure, like, I woke last night, my wife is a bit ill now. Shout out, baby. I love you.
Shut up.
Shut up, baby. Guess what? Yeah. She's a bit ill, and like I just went around the house yesterday because I had to be here very early in the morning to set all of this up with some of the other guys. But last night before I went to sleep, like 10 p.m., I made sure that I washed the bathroom, washed this, did that. Right. That doesn't take anything away from me as a man, right? But here's the thing: we have primary and secondary assignments in relationships. Your Harvard degree as a woman cannot replace what I primarily need from you. So it is an added advantage to whatever we decide we want to do with it as a couple. But primarily, I will go and date a girl in Chicken Republic if she's feminine, fit, friendly, nurturing. And I will tell you and your Harvard degree to get out.
Okay, so that's the thing.
And same flip side to a woman. Like we talked about simps the other day, men that have no spine. We talked about mentorship, men that haven't been led, so they don't even know how to lead. Right. Men who don't know how to control their urges. They don't have self-control. They don't. Ultimately, and this is why these marriages are not working. So, do you understand what I'm saying? This is why these relationships are not working. We're not really bringing what we value to the table. Let's not forget what the table is. Now, the table is the relationship.
Fantabulous. Now, I want to say something because I've gotten two sides of what the table is now. I said the table is you, that what you bring to the table. And I used a quote that I said that if you see a man diligent in his work, he will stand before kings and not mere men.
Yeah.
He will stand before kings and not mere men. So that is clear. So that means bringing something to the table in quotes. But I've seen it from another perspective now, which is the table is what you're trying to build. So the table can also be what you're trying to build. So it's good for a relationship to also have a vision. Yeah. If a relationship has a vision, it helps you solidify the things that you guys stand for. And that's why many relationships, many people are not on the same, they're not on the same wavelength. They're not on the same wavelength. And when they're not on the same wavelength, then there are questions like, what do you bring to the table comes up. See, many people have so many things already at the back of their mind. So when that question comes up, many people just don't want to be, let's say, one, hot, two, and some people are generally selfish. But if there's a vision and there's something you guys want to build, it makes things easier.
I think even to chip into that,
solid.
What David said about the primary rules that's
machete. You gotta get this.
The primary rules that both genders have.
Yeah.
Now, a man having the primary rule of protect and provide, I think people misconstrue that provide to only mean finances, to only mean money.
Word. And I debunked it in one of our other episodes.
Yeah.
So, because a man provides
more than money.
Right.
A man can provide
structure.
First of all, even
discipline.
A man can provide
structure, discipline.
Yeah.
A man's presence is provision. Providing that presence, providing direction.
Yeah.
So for example, now in my place, as you know, I'm trying to get a nice generator, a new generator.
Yeah.
So I had
NEPA will do things to you.
NEPA will do things.
Yeah.
Trying to get a new generator.
Yeah.
Now I had a certain amount of money to get the gen. I had like, let's say 90% to get that gen.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the remaining, so I'd have had to wait a longer time to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now my girl now said, let me bring this remaining amount to supplement for this.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So from the beginning, there was a direction of, okay, we need to get this gen. That's providing direction.
Yeah.
And then we collaborated on this. So finances is just an aspect
of it,
of provision from a man's angle.
So the perspective I wanted to speak from the other time was the fact that I believe, right, the asylum actually speaks for all kinds of men.
Yeah.
So you understand that the alpha male, there are men that are so masculine in all ways.
Yeah.
And I want you to also realize that there are a lot of very feminine, very docile men that also like to be led. And to be honest, I wouldn't necessarily say that they are failed men. It's just who they are. Right? There are several, There are several researches that said that this kind of people are actually they are influenced by the kind of their hormones and how their hormones actually come together. You know, they have a low testosterone and probably have a higher estrogen or something. I've read that before. I'm not able to really confirm what makes some men feminine, right? And it's beyond how they talk and how they work and whatever they do. It's also how they want to live their lives. And I've seen relationships where a lot of women are not exactly tomboys, but they are the ones that are the leaders in the family. I mean, I'm not even talking about boys and girl relationships. I'm talking about daddy, mommy. And daddy will say, I don't want any. When mommy is back, she's going to handle this particular matter. And the marriage actually works. Fine. Like 40 years married. It works. So what am I trying to say in essence is that when it comes to the table, what it used to be in the past is not, honestly, I don't think it's what it is anymore. Or maybe it's just the stage of life that I'm in right now that just exposes me to a lot more than I used to in the past. Because I've actually really seen the fact that as much as we talk about provision and protection as a masculine, how do I put it?
A primary masculine role.
Yeah. I realized that a lot of things are actually changing. And beyond even that, it has actually happened even in the past. I'm talking about people in 40, 50-year relationships, right? And I can speak of this about them. It means that it has actually been happening those days as well, but they were de-emphasized because of the exposure of the kind of society that we live in. So to put back in context, what we bring into the table in a relationship, I strongly believe that when two people of different genders when two people of different genders are coming, you understand why I'm laughing, right?
Because we need to clarify.
Jesus Christ.
So when two people are coming together into a relationship, I feel that it should not be two people competing. It should be two people complementing each other. Understanding each other's strengths and understanding that you have tolerance and... No, tolerance is the wrong word. You have the bandwidth. Their weakness, you are naturally able to complement their weaknesses. When they are able to naturally complement your own weakness as well, their strengths, weaknesses. And sometimes it might not just be all natural as well, but you're able to make those important compromises in that relationship for it to just work in the first place. You know, that kind of thing. So I feel that coming to the table is just coming to bring it. So if all I bring to the relationship or marriage is the fact that I'm a rich kid. I mean, I'm spending daddy's money, or let me say trust fund kids. You know, probably my dad has put $100,000 in my account since I was 1 year old, and when I became 18, I have access to all of that money. The shitload of money in my account at the moment, and I'm not emotionally intelligent. A lot of things are still wrong with me, and all of that. And there's this woman that is well brought up. She has all of those stuff. While I'm not saying that I'm a baggage that she must take on to herself.
Yeah.
I'm also saying the fact that is there a part of my life that actually complements what she's looking for? If what I'm looking for is the emotional stability or that calmness that she brings to the relationship, and the possibly ruffian or leave the kind of, but she brings that stability. And possibly maybe I bring her out of her shells as well to be able to do the things that she has potentials to do, but she's not able to do because she's so timid in everything that she does and all of that. So we're trying to look at, you cannot now quantify the fact that because I brought a lot more money into that relationship than I brought more into the table. I disagree. I believe that efforts and the emotional intelligence that people actually bring to raise a relationship should be quantifiable when it comes to what they actually bring to the table. So putting back into context, when people are actually going on second dates or probably third dates and they're asking you what to bring to the table, I do not think that anybody should feel offended. You just be able to talk. I mean, are you interested in that relationship? You really want to be there, right? So be able to talk now, like, this is what I stand for. This is things I can do, and probably say people that have been with in the past actually can say 1, 2, 3 things about me, or people around me can say that I'm this, and that, or I have a track record of this. They should just be like, what do I mean? I ham the table. I shatter the table. You know what I'm talking about?
Was amazing points, Dave. And I just want to pick some things apart. There was something that Bo said about how, the vision is usually what determines the attitude of the word. Do you understand? It is, and he said something, 2 things that still stick here. He said sometimes people are what do you call it now? Is he ashamed or something? And then they're selfish.
Yeah. So these are just like 2 sides of when they come into that space where they're trying to build a relationship. It's either you are ashamed or you're selfish. And there are so many things that can make somebody ashamed. There are too many things that can make
the way you grow up.
So many things can make somebody ashamed.
That you've talked about in this hypothetical situation.
So many things can make somebody ashamed. Like how you grew up, the things you've gone through, mistakes you've made, the way the world is very judgmental.
So that means in the first place, when we're meeting ourselves in the dating market, we should do so with empathy. So let's start there. We should do so with empathy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you came in a Corolla. It does not matter to me that you don't have a Benz. Let's sit down first and talk. Look at what you're saying. Let's talk. Let's have
a connection.
Let's see where we're, because and another thing I want to, everything you said, right? Because I really took my time to listen to you. Everything you said is very correct. There are certain, even though it does not account for the majority, right? It's still the minority. Because if that were to switch, if women were to take on more masculine roles, and more men were to take on more feminine roles, you're going to have chaos.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's not the natural order of things. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But these cases exist. And I just want to take some things from there. The truth is, when we meet ourselves on the dating market as men and women, we have to fundamentally understand what it is that we can give, and what it is that we need. So most people complain about how most girls, for example, most guys, so I'm talking from male perspective, most guys are like, oh, all what girls want you for is your money. Do you understand? Most girls want that because they can't give what the guy wants. Because if 2 people are in a position where it's, I know what I bring to the table, right? But it doesn't end there. I also know what I need. It helps for you to be able to avoid trouble. It's very important that you go into the dating market with those 2 things. You need to know what you bring to the table and what you need as a person.
All right.
And what that table, the relationship, needs to stand the test of time. Like you said, there's some homes where the mother or the woman has the more dominant personality over the man. Like I have male friends that they don't want to stress, so that they just, you know what, you people should go and do it. They are not too.
Exactly my point.
I'm a choleric guy. I'm a choleric man. I've always been the one like, guy, get up, let's do this.
And that one was based on the need for what you had to do at the time, because of how you grew up.
Exactly. Yeah. But there's some, but there's some men that play some more passive roles. That's just their personality.
Yep.
But in terms of what you bring to that relationship, you still have to be a man. And the lady still has to be a woman. In terms of, look, there are certain things that only a man can provide. Do you understand? It's true. Because if it wasn't true, 80% of the kids, 80% of the inmates in prisons would not come from single mother homes. If it was true that women can play the role of a father and a mother. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So I get you. So I'm actually inferring this because I actually spent a lot of time actually listening to you on I think second episode or something where you were talking about how your mom raised you. And man, shout out to your mom.
Shout out, mommy.
We love you. We love you. You did a very great job.
Yeah.
Because I never saw it. I've never seen things from the perspective that you're talking from before. The fact that single moms need to be more intentional about educating their male children
on how they need male.
Exactly. That they really need to. I think it should be a campaign or something. Well, I think social.
Well, I feel like even with that, maybe I think pride, and fear might be some of the things that influence these things. For example, shout out to your mom.
Yeah, man.
Another mother might decide to not say, okay, you need a man in your life because they don't want to feel like I'm not enough for you. So I don't want to tell you that I'm not enough for you by telling you need a man in your life.
So that's the thing. I think that's
where you need to draw the line.
Woman with a high.
This is more about this boy than it is about
myself.
Me.
It takes a woman with a high level of emotional intelligence to realize that. To realize that there's only much that I can do as a woman. I'll be the best woman in the world, the best mother to you, but I cannot
be a father.
Be a father to you. It can never be. So definitely, I am now trying to probably position you or trying to encourage. So it means that also beyond the pride of the mother, there's also the parts where you make I think even Jesus. Okay, let me put that part out. But because I just try to see it from a very, very clear perspective that this is actually it's a pain point. What you talked about is a very big issue. It's something really deep. I was not raised by a single mother, but my dad used to be a traveling dad. He comes home probably. I was born in the north, and because of the education, we moved to the west, and my dad had to stay in the north to work, and my mom was working in the west and all of those. So he always came when he had a holiday or something from work. Yeah. So, and I never really knew because my mom she was that very soldier woman that could do everything. I felt like she was
superwoman.
As a matter of fact, it only takes the fact that I'm grown now and I can understand some lapses to realize that actually, bro, you need help. Yeah. Because there are some places that really it has to be a man teaching you this thing.
Big facts.
And like you rightly said, taking yourself out to find mentors and things like that. I wouldn't want to go into the episode that you actually have trashed and finished. Thank you very much for the episode.
I appreciate it.
So now, talking back and talking about this table particularly again. Yeah. So let me shake this table a little bit. I came about a video a couple of days ago. I think I shared with I am too. Yeah. And the lady was saying something that actually struck me. The lady was saying something that actually struck me. Number one, she said the guy said that when men make more money. There are two people. The guy said, when men make more money, they're looking for more people to take care of.
I know what you're talking about. It's even a saying in the red pill community. When men make money, they're like, oh, I need a wife. I need to settle down. I need to take care of kids. When women make money, they say, I don't need a man.
I don't need anybody. I'm independent. I don't care. I don't need anybody. So it just shows how much that we are wired differently. Our emotions, the culture that's actually bred us to how we are today, the environment, our day-to-day just shows that we are wired differently. The way a woman would think is not necessarily, it's going to be very different from how a man thinks. There are exceptions that we talked about the other time. There are definitely exceptions in all ways. But we are wired differently. That is one. Number two is the fact that they were asking, they said, another one says, most women, whenever you want to date or you want to be in a relationship with someone, you would want probably a guy that is taller than you, more emotionally stable than you, so you can cry and can say it's okay, it's okay. Then someone that is more financially independent than you, and all of those stuff. And when the guy asked the question, said, so if you want all of these things from someone, you're definitely describing your superior. That, are you sure that that is going to be a partnership?
How can that be a partnership?
And I felt like, whoa.
That
everything that you want is someone that is superior.
You already has it.
Emotionally, financially, in all ways. I said, so why do you think
that is why God's formula, and that's how you know. See, God cannot be put to shame. Personally, I'm a strong believer in Jesus Christ and the Lord Almighty.
Hallelujah, somebody.
You know what I'm saying? We run it out here in the street. And there is a passage of the Bible that many people take out of context, they misconstrue. But it goes thus. It says, husbands, love your wife.
Yep.
Like as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Right? Women, wives, submit to your husband. God is not stupid. There is a formula. Do you understand? Husbands, love your wife. Break that down. Do you understand? Because this is what we're talking about now. This is the table. This is the table. Husbands, love your wife. How can you give love that you do not have? What does that love entail? Love is kind, love is pure, love is sacrificial. It does not take note of wrong. It does not. I must be kind even when I'm angry. Even when I've told her like a billion times, see, babe, Alpha, I don't like this stuff. I don't like
the Henry Rema from there.
He's calculating, he's trying to.
I'm feeling you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yep. Can I love the way Christ loved the church? You know what? Do you know Pastor Sam Adeyemi, my pastor? He says it is like, and give yourself to her the way Christ gave himself up for the church. You know how Christ gave himself up for the church? The man died.
Yeah.
Like, you're willing to put your life on the line to ensure that she's taken care of. And do you know what what God says to the woman? He says, when you find a man like this, submit to him. It's not hard. The problem here is men who have not learned how to love are asking from submission from women who do not have the capacity for it.
Absolutely.
So you have chaos. That's why everybody is talking about superficial things that they bring to the table. Money is good. I said it in one of our episodes. To put all of this together, Pablo is in the background. I know how much one lens from Pablo costs.
Right.
Do you understand? We know how much. So money is good. Right? A hot chick is nice. A beautiful girl is nice. But is that really what is going to sustain us on the table long term?
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the table, we have to look at what it is foundationally, primarily. What does it mean? As a man, do you understand? I think one of our episodes should even be you know what? Let me
this shit reminds me of what even happened a couple days ago with this whole Hakimi issue and with his wife. You understand?
Yeah.
At the time she met him, this guy was already an established player. This guy is balling. He's just 24 now. Apparently she's about 10 years older than him. 12 years older than him. So at the time she met him, he already had money. And now they are divorcing.
Okay.
And what she's looking for is to get her own piece of the pie because that's what she believes she's entitled to on the table. So now from that perspective, you know, with all these marriages that we see being ended on very superficial notes, do people care deeply about what each member is bringing to the table initially?
Bro,
you understand what I'm saying?
I think you have brought out something that I thought we were actually shelving for a little time.
David said something just now that kind of like answers your question in a way. David talked about how when he listened to that episode that, you know, I was talking about a father, it was kind of like a light bulb moment for him to say, I've never actually thought about it from this angle. That's the answer to your question. A lot of people have actually never thought about it from this angle that, look, foundationally as a man, like, it doesn't matter if I have a docile personality, I'm more reserved, I don't like stress, if I'm in my home, I have to lead. I'm there as a leader. anything goes wrong in that house, the first person God is going to hold accountable is me. Whether I'm phlegmatic, melancholy, choleric, or sanguine, I've placed you as the head. Now, when we get together, we can now start delegating. Oh, you're stronger in this part. I'm stronger in this part. But I am supposed to lead. And how am I supposed to lead? By example.
Right.
I'm supposed to show you what love looks like by how I love you. I'm supposed to show you what order, what structure, what a balanced life looks like by me showing that to you at first. But how many people have thought about it? You had an aha moment,
right,
when you listen to the pod, right? But how many people actually sit down to say, what truly do I have to offer a man? What truly do I have to offer a woman? Do you understand? So in the dating market is just populated with people who have not thought about this for one day in their life. Like they don't even think about, it's not something to think about. Men just want to make money and look at where we make those mistakes. I think we'll talk about this Hakimi issue in another episode, but let me just say this, right? We make the wrong choices in women. The word simp was even invented.
I'm sorry. I beg to differ.
No, because we make the wrong choices in women. You know why? Because when a guy gets money, when the average Joe gets money, who does he want to get with? He wants to get with a bad B. So, bro, the last thing he's thinking about is a girl with virtues.
Bro, that's the thing.
We allow testosterone lead us.
Yes, that's why we are men. And I like this particular conversation because it's actually happening on at the asylum. You know, I like to use the word asylum. Yeah. So because I try to see it, as much as we're going to not talk about this a lot, but I'm also just gonna say a little bit of it. When he talked about Hakimi and his pattern ex-wife, the major issue was that at that particular time, it was a 19-year-old, God knows what was playing, was in PSG at the time, it was a UCL older at the time. Yeah. This babe was 12 years older, 19 plus 12. That's probably, what again?
31 or
31-ish or thereabouts. And the girl was the hottest girl. She was a Rihanna to him at that particular time. Like, I have money, I can back this thing. In my head right now, that I don't need anything in my life than just get this woman. But that gives me the status symbol.
A wife is not a car.
So that's the thing.
She's not some fancy toy. She's a gift from God.
Bro, so that's the thing. What we're talking about.
Your money can't buy you a wife.
Bro, what we're talking about is different. And what is what I mean? To say that what marriage means to different people are different. I mean, my relationship goal is different from yours. I don't know what your answer is.
I agree. Sorry.
Because
I
the goal of every relationship,
many times.
The goal of every relationship. Isn't the goal of every relationship to stand the test of time?
No, bro, no.
Then why are you getting into it?
No.
What's not the
Let me
I wonder why we have the chaos that we have in the world.
Listen. Why I said it's not the goal is because people get married at different times.
For different reasons.
Fantastic. So, the time when you marry depends on the level of maturity that you have. You might have some needs at a particular level. Facts.
So David is saying the ideal goal is long term.
I'm sorry. I don't think that there's any ideal goal when it comes to relationship.
For example,
two people coming together to live the rest of their lives together. I, David, Salt Ayodele, do not think that there's any ideal goal for it. It's just your choice. To say that at this particular point of my life, this is how I want the rest of my life to be. And this is the person that I've chosen this journey to go
how do we say
because
you have an chill, bro?
Yeah.
Sorry, How do we, because this is very, very crazy. Yeah. If I go to NCAT Zaria and I go into school there, I really just want to go into school. Like I just love the school and I want to go into it. Yeah. There's a reason why I'm going there.
Yes.
That's the goal.
You might not go to learn.
That's the
but there's
Do you understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. No. Hear what I'm saying. There are institutions.
No, and I'm being honest about this. I've said this too many times.
See, if we play a football match, the goal is to win the match.
That's last.
Yes.
Do you understand? The goal is to win it. The goal is to survive. The goal is to make it out. Is to live a fulfilled life.
Okay, fantastic.
Do you understand? If not, people will not be offing themselves and committing suicide. We are going out of these things. The person that created this institution had a goal for it, for marriage. We can't bring our own subjective view to it to say, oh, there's no goal. That's you messing it up.
No. I think
So what
that,
are the other goals?
Do you understand? There's no other goal.
Thank you.
If
No,
you're
me, I want to hear.
married,
I want to hear.
if you get married to a woman or you want to marry, we're talking about marriage here.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
not, just be in a relationship and live away
Okay.
your life.
I
want to
agree,
hear
I agree,
David
I
Salt's-
agree.
I want to hear David Salt's goals.
But if you
in
go
marriage.
into a marriage, do you know how
That's what I want to
stressful
hear
getting
now.
married is?
I agree.
You meet the girl.
Listen.
You have to. Parents have to meet each other.
David Kenny.
You go to the court in Nigeria. You do track.
Bro.
You now go to church.
Baba.
You now sign.
Bro.
Me, I want to hear
And
this.
all of that.
I want to
Let
hear
me tell
these
you-
goals.
let me
What
tell
are
you,
the
Because you
goals?
don't have a goal.
Baba, let me
want-
tell you something.
hear
Let
these
me
goals.
tell you something, right? When it
It's
comes
not
to
a
relationships,
goalless thing. It's not a goalless
let's
thing.
hear his goals.
Marriage is
I want to
not.
hear the
Marriage is
goals.
not headless. It has direction. There's a place it's going to, bro. There's
Let's
a
hear the
purpose,
goals. Let's
bro.
hear the
I
goals.
want you to understand something.
Let's hear the goals.
And that thing is that, you see, when we talk about relationship and marriages, it's an entirely different ball game. I don't think that this episode will help us like trash totally when it comes to masculinity and talking
Yeah.
about men. But however, I would like to just say some things clearly. This asylum actually speaks to different kind of people. It speaks to the guy that is currently at the club right now. It speaks to the guy that's actually smoking weed at the moment. It speaks to the guy that's in church, that's probably in a choir rehearsal. It speaks to the guy that is actually never come out of his room and is always like right there with his earpiece plugged on, and he doesn't feel like he's man enough. So
All kinds of men.
I am here to tell you that there are people that goes into relationships and even marriages that do not have that end goal that you just described in future for them. And it does not mean and does not make them a failure when it comes to. So you
So
can.
what's their goal?
But that just means they will fail.
No, I'm going
So
somewhere.
what is
I'm
their
going
goal?
somewhere.
When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
So that's I'm going somewhere.
Do you understand?
I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
If I have not defined the success of my marriage to be what you have described marriage to look like, then I have not failed.
No, I'm not the one that defined.
No.
Okay,
hold
that
on,
is
hold on.
another-
You know that
Do you
there are
understand?
people that are atheists, right?
Yes.
And they're also brodamen.
No, but I am.
And they're in the asylum.
And I am. But
I feel like everyone has the same
I,
goal.
as a believer in Jesus Christ,
Right.
is going to operate from that standpoint where marriage has a goal.
But me, even without this Christianity,
that's actually why it's interesting.
And chill, right? Let's not even talk about Christianity. Let's just go back in time, right? Let's go back in time, like 100, 200, 300 years ago, where the rate of marriages were like people were more married. Yeah.
Where do you get the stats from?
Chill. People were more married, bureaus and stuff. I can send you links. Like our last episode, the last episode where we talked about what now? Is it the divide? The divide. If you go to the caption, if you go to like the description, you will see all the links to a lot of the stats that will pull out. We're not just pulling it out of somewhere. It's there. So I may not be able to quote some for you off the top of my head, like the exact places to go, but we'll attach it to the links, right?
Yeah.
Now, like people are less married now than human beings are less married now than they were 100 years ago. By 2030, there is a projection that 54% of modern women, will be single, unmarried, childless, never married, no children, nothing. There are companies that are literally investing their stocks in cat and dog food because a lot of these women will be dog and cat moms. Like this is legit stuff that is going on. But here's what I want to say. When you even go back to the average guy in Czechoslovakia or some weird ass country that does not know about Jesus, if he's getting with a woman to get married to that girl, first of all, he's doing so on the basis of love and companionship and cooperation. Both of us, we love each other. We want to build something together. That's the goal. Do you understand? That's the goal. That's the goal everywhere. Whether you go to the moon or you go to the stars. That's the primary goal.
I'm trying to understand the other
goal.
goals.
Companionship. People get married to build a family, to build a dynasty, and to live out the rest of their lives together.
Because me, I'm not married, but I thought that was the goal for everybody.
Do you understand? That's the goal.
But I know
Okay,
there's
We have taken this. So what is the bone of contention now? What are we disagreeing
the
on?
bone of contention is are there other goals?
What I don't agree with is that you can get into a marriage without a goal.
No, that's not what I mean. Okay, that's actually where we're actually. That's not what I mean.
Okay,
what I actually meant to say was that the goal that you were describing might not be the goal for everybody.
somebody. Okay, so give me some of the type of goals that you've seen.
So I know why this sounds.
Some people
wrong.
have green card goals. Green card
No,
goals.
because I'm actually just trying to understand.
I'm saying some people have green
I
card
get
goals.
what you are saying. The reason why is that people believe is like Christianity. Like Christianity is like you mirror what Christ did. Not that you are not going to kill yourself, but you are going to mirror it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That means you are going to try and say, okay, how did he behave here? Because you know that different things can happen, and you are like, okay, how did this person react? How did this person? You understand? Christ had a lot of things. The only thing that Christ that got angry over was when money was used in a wrong way to manipulate. That was the only thing he was angry over. But other things, he calmed down and just said, forgive and stuff like that. And there's people also say stuff like sex is like the best place to put marriage is like the best place to put sex. In order not for things to also get manipulative. So 2 things that can cause manipulation, this is what I just feel, is sex and money. Do you get? So when I believe that we are mirroring what Christ did, is that we are saying that we are going to remove sex as manipulation, money as manipulation, but 2 of us are now going to come together and have. That's where I now agree with what you are saying, that it depends on what 2 people agree, because we have to be realistic with what life is now.
Because there are different people with different beliefs.
Fantastic.
Okay, I get from that angle.
Do you get?
I know people that get married for green cards.
I mean,
I know people that get married for green cards.
What I'm talking,
Exactly my point.
maybe the reason why it seems like maybe the reason why we're contending.
Political reasons.
Yes, maybe the reason why we're contending is because I'm looking at this thing idealistically.
That's why I began saying
looking at it
ideal.
Like, ideally, do you understand? You should, if you marry for political reasons, if you marry because your father owns land, this other person owns land, we want to do this kind of thing. If we marry for all those kinds of reasons, and there isn't really, like, there is no commitment from both people to say, we actually want to run this race of life together, is bound to fail.
But look at
Jonathan, and even if they stay together, they are just staying together,
right,
for optics.
Yes.
They will ask you, even if a princess marries a duke,
Yes.
A princess definitely marries a duke, a princess marries a prince, or something like that. No matter how much
bloodline going and all of that.
So even in those ideal areas, so to say, this kind of things still happen because they want you to go and fall in love in that area. Not necessarily that the fact that right in front of me here, I found someone I love. I guess what I'm talking about, but I have to go and get married to that person. So marriages, and I cannot overemphasize this, that marriages, it depends on actually what your end goal is that will determine whether you fail or succeed. For them, if you are able to keep that bloodline moving forward, I believe you're successful.
It depends on what your end goal is,
yes,
that determines whether you will succeed in the area of marriage or not. You can take that to the bank, because again, that is another thing that even the Bible emphasizes.
And that has something
if you
to
do
no
not
matter
know,
the goal.
if you do not know what the goal is. If we do, so when we come to the table, we bring something to the table.
You must define the table. That's what you're trying to.
Yes.
Define what the table is.
We must first know what we are doing. What are we trying to do?
I like that.
That's why many people are wasting their time, and that's why many people are giving marriage a bad rep now. Not because marriage is a bad institution. There's nothing wrong with the institution. It's the people that are in it. They are coming broken. They are coming goalless. They are coming directionless. They are coming. Can I say mentorless? Is there like a word like men? Do you understand? Like people are not coming correct to this. Like if you even hear how some churches have very solid premarital counseling units and systems and programs, and most people just bullshit it. They're like, I don't need that. Do you understand? There's like it's like I get to define what marriage is. I get to give my own definition. There is no goal. You're not centered. You've not learned from other people. You've not seen what it is. Like, what exactly is marriage? Why are we coming here? And I think that's why the dating market is so crappy, because most people are coming directionless. They are coming goalless. They don't know what they are. It's just about sex and money.
Like what he said, like what he said about it depends on the goal that determines how long lasting it will be.
Yeah.
So, for example, if the goal is to get green card,
Yeah.
if the goal is because our families are intertwined,
Yeah.
that will determine how
So
long
in 5 years,
it
you
will
have
last.
succeeded. Either way.
How well? What?
So if you hence in 5 years after you got your green card, you have succeeded.
That's what I'm saying. So if that is the goal, but the ideal goal now we're saying is for a lifetime companionship.
Yeah.
So if that is the goal and it ends within 5
And
years,
the fulfillment of God's purpose in that union, there is a reason why you should even get together. There's some people that are in marriages that have no business being in marriage. But you know what? I don't think we can chop up this topic for a long time. Personally, I like the fact that David is on this podcast.
David Saul, ladies and gentlemen.
Like the conversation was fast bossing and it was just flowing. And I really like the angles where you brought it from. There was one thing you said repeatedly that I really appreciate. This is an asylum.
Yep.
A lot of people are going to find their way here.
Yep.
And it is very good for us to have a structure that, even though it is not, because we're not here to pander to your subjective feelings that will destroy you. Do you understand? We are here to use our own life experiences and knowledge to try and guide you in the way that we think is the best way, in the way that we believe and we have found out and tested through time and experience that this is the best way to go. Do you understand? The right way. That's why we're talking about mentorship, male guidance, all of that, mental health. And now we're talking about the table and everything. And I really appreciate that, because what that helps us to do is take a holistic approach to things. And I really, really like that. Thank you for being our first guest. Thank you for being here. We love the fact that you're wearing our theme color blue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. So we've come to the end of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Mr. David Saul, thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Please, I beg, help us sell your market to these people so that, they can come to your DMs and give you money and all of that. Please.
Okay. My name again is David Saul Tayodele. I'm a media person. I consult for media. I do a little bit of experiential marketing. And definitely right now, I'm in the development space. ESG, sustainability, democratic governance, and education. That's GCE. Currently, where my brother in democratic governance trying to help us amplify the kind of work that we do on social media. Shout out to you, man. I'm too, once again. My social media handle is on Twitter, I'm David Salt _ and on Instagram, I'm David Salt __. Thank you very much.
Amazing stuff. Please hit his DMs with money, bro.
Money on the table.
Money. We need money from $5,000 and above. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, we out. Is the brodamen _ asylum on IG. And the brodamen asylum on YouTube. Go to all those places, like, subscribe.
Please, you guys don't. He's passionate. He's just being passionate. Please.
You know what?
It's not a threat. It's not a threat.
Okay, cool. It's a threat.
Oh, I think you should beg them now to say please now.
Anyways, we have me, I'm too, Ronti. We're out. We'll see you guys next week. God bless you guys.